Hello, good morning. Welcome to Daily News Commentary. So let's see what we have got today. The Omicron scare continued. Read on that. GST collection surge in November. It's a routine news. So the only thing is GST that you have to look at there. Again, the issue of freedom of speech continues, and it is getting into the front page these days. Freedom of speech and Article 19. So must look into that. This would be a important point of discussion in the coming days, and so from a polity and constitutional angle also, this would be a pretty serious issue. So must be taking, the main thing about it is that you should be having a perspective on these things, right? Next one is point of order. It invites your attention to the parliamentary disruption and the issues thereof. Disruption of proceedings, suspension of MPs undermine parliamentary democracy equally. So both are an issue, right? So from government side and from the opposition side, from treasury and from the opposition, there is an issue. Please read through this. If you find any particular point, add it to your notes. Now by this time I presume that you have created notes on this topic. Okay, so it's very necessary that you have made proper notes for the topics that we are mentioning, because the purpose is to have a go-to document as far as any topic is concerned, and not just look here and there over some material, some vision, some insights. That is not going to help you. So make sure you have this note. Road to recovery is again talking about the economic situation. Please go through it. It talks about the latest GDP and GV estimates that we seen last day. So must be knowing what is GV and GDP, differentiate between them, and also when you are reading this kind of finding, the disaggregated view of GDP data also reveals areas of concern that undermine the recovery. Private final consumption expenditure. What is that? You need to identify. That measures spending on everything from essentials to luxury goods and entire gamut of services by all consumers as the largest share of GDP is still treading water. Okay, so that is not still recovered enough. Why? Because the uncertainty like pandemic, loss of income, depressed demand. Okay, so you must understand each of these concepts, how it is related to economic recovery or economy of the country. What is the relationship, both for prelims and for mains? So if you know the concepts really well, you can frame a pretty good answer. Otherwise, it will show some cracks in between. Capital functioning from different region. It's again that Andhra Pradesh issue. I don't think that is pretty much important for us, for our purpose. Errors of judgment about the POSCO case. So read on the POSCO case, what it is doing to protect children. More than that, I think there's nothing much. Decision to be scrutinized. Okay, you can read that from the High Court's perspective, but then that's a routine news. Blow to Kerala's exceptionalism. This is not an article worth reading, but since we are here, you can maybe read for understanding, like how chauvinism can. There was a lot of chauvinism, like we always see that Malayali saying Kerala is number one, North India is like reverse of places. So it's a kind of a chauvinism. It's a kind of ethnic chauvinism, which may not be boding good for us. So maybe you can look into that. Elephants killed in a decade. This is talking about man-animal conflict. Now, a very important topic from environment part. What, in the sense you got to get a factual survey where the main regions of man-animal conflict. Why? What is the reason for increased man-animal conflict? Impact and issues. Conservation measures taken. Their limitations. All the measures are not successful equally. And now, way forward. So this much of information should be read through. some numbers you can use. You can use this number as a case study. The Ministry of Environment has environment report, 1,200 elephants killed in 1 decade. Winter in northern India to be warmer than normal. Just read that. Nothing. You have to don't have to look into the reasons and all. Just read that. UP reports most UAPA arrest. What is UAPA? You have to understand. And this is a controversial piece of legislation. Very controversial. What? Why? Issues. Look into it, and we'll be having an article in the coming page. So let's go there. India joins G20 Troika. What is G20 Troika? That must be looked at closely. For prelims, of course, EU plans 300 billion infra fund to counter China's BRI, Global Gateway. Okay, so read the basic details. For preliminary understanding for prelims, and for mains it could be a 1 point in IR. 1 point in IR. That's it, not more than that. So we are done with that. Manufacturing PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. What is that? Again, go through it. Exports dip. India and the export situation is a peculiar one. So we need to study about Indian exports. Okay, that is recorded in GS3. Status of India's export. Deficit of exports over import. Why exports is low? Why low? How to fix it? We have a couple of related articles, like see if you look at India-China trade deficit. So if export is low, trade deficit would be high. So China is the country with India has the largest trade deficit, and the number is given. So again, look into it. Chip shortage, I think it's been pretty much repeated. So just look into what chip shortage is and what it does to the automobile sector. Cyber attack hits. Okay, this can be a number that you can remember. Most 26,018 websites have been attacked into the 10-month period. So in one year, you can roughly say about 30,000 attacks on Indian websites. So that's an indication of the cyber threat India is facing. Indian Computer Emergency Response Team India is mandated to understand the cyber security infra of India. Now you have OECD. What is OECD? I think we haven't seen OECD much, 1 or 2 times, that's it. So look into OECD, and then besides we have a couple of articles here. The federal nature of CBI. So we are slowly making a note on CBI, right? Institutions. Constitutional political പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പാർട്ടാണ് constitutional bodies, statutory bodies and other institutions. So CBI is one. So please keep on making a note. So here the federal CBI vs federalism is given. So make a note on that. New anti-CAA protest. No need to make a note of it. Just read. No need for any note. And then you have the draconian legal regime. That is the article on UAPA. UPA. So read about UPA, like why UPA is an issue. It's like again a 360-degree analysis. What is UPA? Need for UPA. Issues. Abuse of UAPA. Way forward. Okay, that much need to be read with respect to UAPA. UAPA question വരുമോയെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ ചാൻസസ് ആർ ലെസ്. ഇതുവരെ അങ്ങനത്തെ അത്രയും കോൺട്രവേഴ്ഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളിലേക്ക് UPSC ചോദിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ബട്ട് സ്റ്റിൽ യു ആർ സപ്പോസ് ടു നോ ഇഫ് UPSC is asking that question, we cannot make any excuse that this is a hard question, this was not expected, this can be expected. So do that much. All the best for today.